to look to the sun, to see where it was that I've come from. I have a feeling that there must be a time I'll get a chance to go home. 'Cause I'm so tired of being here alone. But I'm just a traveler in time, trying so hard to pay for my crime.
Intermezzo o la prima. New vibration position for the guitar. We put it on the root of the nose as the position described, lying on your back, knees bent, right knee is bent, left knee is bent, but the left leg is positioned on the right knee so that you can then put the guitar on it like on a bridge, with its neck, and the body of the guitar is resting on the root of your nose between the eyebrows. If you are a right-handed person, then you put the right wrist of your hand on the edge of the guitar body, of the resonance body of the guitar, so that your finger, I play usually with one finger only, sometimes two, can easily reach the strings. Left hand rests with the elbow on the ground, and it stabilizes the body of the guitar by holding it with open palm, thumb from below, and other fingers from above. They just simply get hold of the body of the guitar. Now, and you lie on your back. Head is resting on a pillow, very romantic kind of pillow and position, so that there is no need to support your body anyhow. You can put cushions below your elbow if necessary, both sides enough so that you don't have the feeling you are losing somehow the balance. And then you let the lust of the cells of your body, that is mainly the face, brain, skin, brain cells, the vibrations in the nasal cavities guide you into the temples of vision, which primarily is haptic. Vision, the word is from visio, has to do with eyes and visual imagery, but the theory of morphogenetic field or of the Urbilder in biocentric phenomenology is not reduced to visual images. They can be sounds, smells, and they can be haptic, that is, arising from touch. And vibration of the string propagates through the skin and the bones and is modulated by the cavities, all hollow shapes, or maybe even certainly by the shapes of organs through which it is propagating, spreading like a wave running on the shore of a sea, changes its shape by running through the stones on the shore. All this we experience as vibration. Interoperception is inside the body, and vibration in this sense is form of touch, and it communes, it brings to the morphogenetic field of the soul meanings, let us say, that are not visual, that are not conceptual, but they are nevertheless in the old sense of the word metaphysical. Brings us to a deep notion of the biocentric phenomenology that perception and vision body and soul are two sides of the same coin. There must be sensory perception. I'm not yet sure about that. Some visions can directly be perceived by the soul. I must consider it if it is true or not, so that we do not get into a danger of, postponing some ideological or heavenly or out of this world realms that communicate with us directly through the soul, which was the basis of old religions. I would say not, because there is nothing like that. In the concept of biocentric phenomenology, there are no other worlds. no heavens and hells. There is only the continuum of this biosphere and the continuum of the solar system and other systems like beyond our solar system, the galaxy. There may be a lot of planets that have planetary life. We certainly can communicate with them somehow, theoretically at least. But there is no, you say, higher realm that is immaterial. The morphogenetic fields of the souls are correlates of the body or to say certain kind of bodily perceptions can open the soul field to communicate with certain kind of other morphogenetic fields. So we are here circling around the notion that improvisation on the guitar and sometimes pure, sometimes as a part of a lecture, is a kind of rehabilitation for the soul field, which has been or used by the verbal function, memory and so on, in the lecture where you just communicated so many images, and now it needs charging. The field needs charging through another medium, and it is the haptic, the vibrational, the pure perceptional. But immediately, because body and soul are a bipolar unity, sometimes the pole of the soul dominates and inspires your body to do something, to run or lie down and relax. Sometimes it's the pole of the body that dominates, and so also the vibrations of the bones on my head now are primary. Body is primary. And the soul answers by voicing the experience of vibration of the bones. Whoa. And in theory, we can say, but not too much because we want to relax, that these various channels are expressing, let us say, the same or the similar metaphysical entity, or in modern language, as the old language, modern language, the same elementary fields of the biosphere that want to somehow, that are being drawn to the body of the bard and to his soul by the specific vibration he makes. No? Because I have read so much good adventure novels in my young days, like The Count of Monte Cristo, and then I can be changed again. We push the guitar, let the guitar fall down from your brow under your chin, so that you simply put your chin on the body of the guitar, and it becomes jammed between your chest and your low jaw. Okay, the rest becomes the same, stays the same. You judge the vibrations now. It's difficult to speak naturally because your low jaw is fixed. You can speak by moving the upper jaw, and while the upper jaw is fixed to the skull, you must nod with your whole head, which is difficult. So you stop talking. But you can make humming noises. You can think mantras because they come directly from the nasal cavities. So. Okay, methodology of bardic inspiration, third part of our lecture, today on the 30th of March 2022. We put the guitar now vertically on the chest, so on the breastbone. Hands are hanging basically on the guitar as it stands vertically up, left and right from the neck, so they easily push it down. And nevertheless, the thumb of both hands can be free, or a thumb of one hand and the fingers of the other hand can move freely on the bar, on the neck of the guitar, because one hand is enough to stabilize it. Vibration goes down directly through the chest to the heart and to the lungs, Diaphragm, no? Great vibrational space. Yeah? Remember in high school, yeah, we had these tape recorders, no? Which had reels, and on those reels that could run for half and for 2 hours or something like that, no? One side and the other side. Magnetic tapes, no? We had all these, I had all these, Uriah Heep and Magician's Birthday and Salisbury and Child in Time, Volume 4, Black Sabbath, and I remember the record pictures, the covers, because our Olympic team was fighting like hell, the Warriors, in Vienna and some other Western cities, and they always brought the records with them. And then we recorded them and they multiplied them on our tape recorders. And I had a loudspeaker, I don't know where I did get it, but it was a large loudspeaker for that time. It was like 70 centimeters on like 50 centimeters. And it was flat relatively, and I could put it like a pillow and put a pillow on it and lie on it and hear this voices from beyond, echoes in the dark. I was born in the mist of morning. And these songs of Uriah Heep, like Pilgrim, Magician's Birthday, and very many others. The long songs, they were epic poems, that described in a romantic way heroic action and mysterious initiations, and falling in love and being sad and all kinds of stuff. But mainly the heroic overcoming of all sadness due to the unity with the suns and the clouds. And don't be alone. Ride on the clouds. Make all the clouds your friends. Don't be alone. Or you can immerse into complete Mahabharata, Ramayanas and Sutras, Vidyas, and travel for hours through the topographic oceans. Or you could go to some mystery tour with Genesis. of the 70s was oft kind of improvisational. With those guys, the band members like Yes and Genesis. I think I visited Genesis. A friend of mine was a composer, an English composer who was befriended with Steve Howe, and in 1980, I guess 81, 82 or something like that, we made a trip to England here from Germany, and he was the director of the music school here in Konstanz. And we visited this Genesis musicians, and then we had a project to write a rock opera, like Jesus Christ Superstar. This is another great composition of the 70s, 1973. Jesus Christ Superstar. I remember listening to it in Prague, in a church, on the top, like when I finished my training as a warrior, it's D'Artagnan and Perseus and Heracles. I went down on foot, still you see, after the shower and swimming and eating, I was kind of, the whole body was, vibrating with power and lust and so, and I went down from the hill where the training area was, down through the Prague castle to those little romantic streets and below the castle, and there was the church. Prague is full of churches, hundreds of Gothic and Baroque and Romanesque and all this mysterious web of spirituality and architecture. I love my hometown, but I've been there so intensely for those first 27 years of my life that it's enough now. I don't so far have a project to rediscover my youth physically. I rediscover it now artistically with these imaginary travels. But at the time, Prague was a complete mystery of architecture. You could walk through those old streets and churches and graveyards, and all the time you felt the mystery. Like if I would have stayed there, I might have developed like Edgar Allan Poe, or like some Kabbalistic science fiction writer or poet in style of Coleridge. I would fly up to some Kabbalistic Xanadu. But due to my immigration and a sudden impact of huge seas and lakes and mountains of the Alps, and changing from fencing slowly to tennis and skiing, I discovered a completely different landscape for my soul. High tops of the mountains where you speak with Zarathustra, clear lakes of cold water where you cool your hot body after skiing down like hell, and endless kind of Spartan-like dusty battles on red sand in the red sand arena. And actually, music remained the same forever. Until now, I always listen to Morning of the Magician, Burst Year or whatever, Deep Purple, and so on. Volume 4, Black Sabbath, Iron Man. I'm an Iron Man. And also to Genesis, and yes, topographic oceans and so on. Beatles, also Beatles. In the morning, always before I start this bardic, heroic journeys, I listen to Beatles 1964. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, with a love like that, you should be glad. Because it was my high school perfect, embodiment of the Beatles lifestyle. No trouble. It was just good music and make love no war. My girlfriend was the typical embodiment of those Pamelas of Jim Morrison. We even dressed unisex. That is, we were dressing completely the same, and we'll go to the first disco. La, 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 la. And still there was this 1968-9 atmosphere of complete, lightness, and everything is fine. There is no trouble, and we didn't take any drugs. We didn't drink any alcohol because I was a sportsman, and we just went for a walk, and we should take her dog, which was an Airedale Terrier, a nice dog, a big one, and we would walk forever and talk and laugh and actually do those little romantic touches and kisses. Sometimes I got into a melancholic Uriah Heep mood, and I had a small tape recorder, I remember. I was working as a tourist guide, that's why I was talking about Prague, because I was taking tourists to all those churches and to all those great temples, the streets up to the Prague castle and the old city and so. I mean, I went this route like hundreds of times with tourists, so I had time to absorb it, no? And they were always happy with my performance because I was like a romantic, a Renaissance Romeo that was wandering through the city and talking all the time about the great past, and there were also young girls in those tourist groups, and they enjoyed this kind of my performance. And they gave me also some like German marks or maybe dollars, and so I changed them to, and I could buy a tape recorder, which was a battery-driven tape recorder of good quality, and I went like a romantic poet through the parks, and I would even sit on the tram and would get me the tram outside of the city, and I was walking behind the city in some romantic rocky landscape worthy of Coleridge and of Edgar Allan Poe, and I would listen to those songs, and then I would get get so saturated by this vision of new romantic lifestyle that I would call my girlfriend and say, you must listen to this song. If you once listen to it, your life will be changed. No? And she was on the other side of the telephone, and I mean, she was nice, but she was not so crazy as I was. So. So, and these were Beatles. Beatles were also always the easy part of it. The short part. The songs are short. They are full of power. They are such single images of friendliness, sunshine, youth, health. So that's why it is true that Beatles must be valued forever as a kind of. They maybe have brought more health to the human culture of Europe and America and Australia and New Zealand, wherever people were hearing them with devotion for a substantial period of time in the 60s and in the 70s, and some of them continue until now, like I. Every day morning, 1964. This happened months before. I saw you to walk in the door with another man. I saw the light. And you don't know how much I love you, and so on. And it was a hard day's night, and so I turn this on when I wake up. Then I get my Zarathustra brush, which is a very big brush with which you can actually scrub the floor of the kitchen. But I use it only for my body, and I go to the bathroom and I have this Beatles. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. With a love like that, you should be glad. And I rub and scrub vigorously my body until it is red, and then I get a cold shower of bam, 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 bam. Sometimes then hot and cold again. Then I scrub it again. Also, always the background. Oh, da 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 da. I was walking. And she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel like, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am 16, 17, and I have to get out from my bed, and I have to jump, eat quickly some breakfast. Mother has made me. And I have to bicycle across a huge plain because I was living in Prague on the top of the city. And there is a great park and a great plain when the military parades are carried out. And I have to bicycle across like 10-15 minutes to my high school. And then in the cloakroom, she is there, my Pamela, my Susan, and she's got white soft leather boots and a red mini rock from some very soft material, and she is shining like like a goddess, and she's laughing, and she has red cheeks and long hair and slim figure, and we simply cannot go to school. I mean, we are already in school, so where should we go? We stay in the cloakroom. Every classroom, every class has a big kind of cage, where you can put your clothes on hooks, your mantles and jackets and so. And so many clothes are hanging on those hooks, so it becomes, you cannot see inside now, and this is our chance. and we start to make our little improvisation in touching and dancing and necking and petting, what is what's called at the time. And the Beatles are still in my ear, and then the bell rings. We have to go to the classroom, and we always come late now. But somehow, some teachers were, they liked that, because, after I was one of the best students, due to my everyday training, I could not learn at home. I was very tired after, 6-7 hours of professional sport training every day. So I just sleep at home and eat. And I had to learn everything at school, so I was attentive. I was listening. I was like, I had no time to learn. I have understand. And so I was sometimes even saying to my student friends, please be quiet, I want to listen. And the teachers look at me as if I was some Alkybiades or Alexander the Great, descended from heavens and, preaching education values, because they were mostly frustrated. The horde of the young students was shouting and making all kinds of noises, and some of the teachers were not strong enough to organize the school or the class to bring them to silence. And I also sympathized with them, because I felt these guys are scientists. They are priests of wisdom. They are devoted to knowledge, and they do not understand those idiots who are shouting here, because they search for the secret of life. Also, again, it's just, I was talking about the Nietzschean concept of importance of the surroundings, political culture, aesthetic, medical, nourishment, everything. Nietzsche says at the Homo that he himself was an idiot when he spent the best years of his life in northern Germany eating those terrible sauces and soups and cold cabbage. And then 10 years in Basel, shielding until he almost was blinded, and interpreting and reading the text all the time. As a philologist, he discovered that fresh air and dry air and sunny blue sky and high mountains and southern seas, and this is his physiological conditio sine qua non, also the necessary condition for his creativity and health. And so I was feeling like that. Why do I say that? Yeah, Nietzsche was saying like, all this is necessary. You have to have all these conditions to develop the full potential of a human being, and then you can call him Übermensch, Overman, Superman. But it is nothing unusual in the sense it does not come from the stars. It is not achieved by some Gnostic discipline. It is that which is already given to you through the genetical code and, as we say, the tradition of morphogenetic fields heritage. And you can open it and fold it like a flower. And for that, all the best conditions must be there. Mostly it is by chance so far in the human history, because the realization has not yet dawned on the powerful of this civilization that we have to take care of these conditions. And so by chances. Now, and one of the chances was that 1968 Russians invaded. I put the guitar slightly lower on the stomach. 1968 there was the Russian invasion into Czechoslovakia, which I didn't notice in a sense very much. I was 14. It was another adventure simply. Ocean Winnetou, D'Artagnan and everything together now. The 7 brave men and Steve McQueen and whatever you were, Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid, somehow merged into this Russian occupation because there was action on the street, but our training went on, and then it went on even more, with more power, because the communists have solidified the power, and the communist hero was, very important. No? But then the side effect of this was that very many highly qualified and experienced professors in the universities were thrown out, because the intellectuals always take side of the revolution, let's say, ideologically, and they had to leave the university after the Russians have solidified the educational system, or the party, the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia, solidified the education, and they had to leave, and for some time they could teach in high schools. And so we had very, very highly qualified professors who were somehow glad that they can earn some money, and they were at the same time slightly shaken by the great political disaster now of the occupation. No? And so I felt sympathy for them. They were Socrates. They were the type of Socrates who has been shaken by some military invasion, but he's still, Euclides and all these guys who were devoted to their science, and they didn't care about the military changes of government. Ne? So I was protecting them. I always stand up. I was sitting in the first bench, in the first row of benches with my girlfriend, because naturally we were inseparable. We dressed completely the same, we laughed the same, we came together late to school because we were together having those petting necking games in the cloak room, and like, so to say, Romeo and Juliet, completely absent-minded, not noticing what's going on, because our love was so nice. So I would somehow stand up and turn to the noisy classroom and say, guys, listen, I want to learn something. I have no time to study in the evening. Ne? And guys got silent, ne? Because after all, I was the top level sportsman. Ne? Oh, la 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 la. And all other girls have said, oh, what a hero. Ne? And the teacher said, oh, I am elevated to the status of a wise preacher in a temple. Okay, so they did their best. Ne? And I enjoyed that very much, because I didn't have to learn. So it was really a time of paradisical kind of education time, and Beatles were in background, and Bee Gees, and so, because in school I didn't listen to Black Sabbath and Jethro Tull, because it was manly, it was a manly stuff that was suitable only for the closed groups of warriors that were preparing, like the Spartans, for the last battle now. So I listen to Beatles until now, in the mornings, where I feel like, I'm just now going to get on my bicycle again, and I do it actually. These are archetypes, morphogenetic fields. Once on a bicycle in the morning, full of romantic ideas, and this is so strong as a morphogenetic field that I do it forever. Now I go on the bicycle to the lake here and to the tennis club and listening to the same music, and I meet girls on the promenade, German girls of 2020, and I make some exercises in early morning flirting with them, even though it doesn't lead to any success, because they are completely different. I mean, you have some 50 years in between, and you have some crazy like COVID and war in the Ukraine and emancipation and gender and all kinds of mysterious temple decadence is happening. So they are shocked mostly that somebody is talking to them. But then they somehow feel that I am not crazy and dangerous, and we have nice short discussions, like 5 minutes. Sometimes they are jogging and exercising, and I am a sports teacher and tennis teacher and ski instructor and physiotherapist. So I always stop and say, listen, this is good, but may I show you a little detail how to stretch? I like the way you walk. This is the high level flirting. I'm able to stop on a bicycle alongside the girl and say, I must simply admire the way you go, because you move so. You see, this is rare, because as a trainer, as a physiotherapist, I have an eye for smooth and orthopedically correct walking, and I don't see it in my profession so frequently. So if you excuse me, I would just look at you and enjoy the way you walk. And they say, first they say, well, should I call the police? Is he crazy? No. Then they realize that I mean it, and they are happy, and they smile and they go, and I make small adjustment and say, you see, the shoulder axis is slightly out of discord with your pelvis axis, and this can be this is a soul problem. You have to relax more and raise your head and raise your chest and look at the trees and look at the birds and listen to Beatles. And so I'm actually practicing this, what I'm preaching, the theory that education and sport and lifestyle for young people must be the absolute priority for all governments. Because otherwise, we will not improve as a human race. We will squander, if it is the correct English word, we will simply disregard the offers that the fate and that the thousands of generations and centuries have brought us. We have to be grateful for the children that are, harmonious, and not only for the harmonious children, for all children. I mean, we have to offer, as I've said, this complete experiment for body and soul between the age of 1 and 20 to all children, because even those who are not gifted with a beautiful body and harmonious motion and poetical soul, they are nice, they are individual, and they will definitely find that which is making them harmonious if we let them be. If somebody is becoming an enormous violin player and grows flowers on his farm, whatever, he doesn't have to be a professional tennis player and Zarathustra on the top of the mountains. It's only because those who are warriors among us and poets feel sometimes such an influx of power, because in us the rainstorms and the whirlwinds and the stormy seas and the rushing clouds and the eagle wings and tigers jumps and so and galloping horses and heroic action is embodying, so that it does not give us, a chance to withdraw and say, okay, maybe I should just simply do my chores and do some bank account work and work in the office now. We would explode, and so many have exploded. So many men have, exploded.
Show